Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County, powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and hosted by the one man who knows everybody here in Orange County. He's going to prove it here today, John Gutierrez.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, John Gutierrez, Senior Vice President, here with us today. And if you're not ready, you better get ready for the NAMM show that's coming up here. The ultimate gathering for music, sound, and event technology. Discover new gear, connect with the industry pros, and be inspired by everything that makes music happen. Don't miss it. And with us today, we have the President and CEO of this amazing organization, Mr. John Molensak. He's an expert in the music industry, education and technology, and of course, leadership. He previously worked as the Vice President of Music Education and Technology at Hall Leonard. John has held positions at Vandercook College, Massachusetts Music Educators Association, and served on advocacy committees. He's a certified Google Level 2 educator and frequently speaks on education, technology, and music advocacy. Welcome to the show today, Mr. John Molensak.
Good to be here, John.
Hope that was a good introduction, John.
Let's do it, yeah. So you forget about things you do in your past, but then you hear them, you're like, yeah, I did that.
Right?
Did that. Cool, yeah.
And for anybody that's just listening to us, you could always go to OC Talk Radio. And at OC Talk Radio, you'll be able to hear the full conversation here that we're having with John, of course, the President and CEO of NAMM. Tell us, John, share with us, if you don't mind, the history of it and, of course, the definition behind the NAMM.
Yeah, that's a great opening question. So thank you so much for having me. I know we'll get into how important Orange County is to NAMM, and I know it has a major impact around Anaheim for the 2 weeks that we're there. It's a really big event, and we're very happy with all the support that we get from the local community. So it's great to be on this. NAMM, we are a 125-year-old trade association. We were founded in 1901. And this really goes back to the testament of the power of making music. At the time, in 1901, it was piano dealers, because that's what music making was. In 1901, it was piano. The acoustic guitar was, of course, a popular instrument, but it was piano and sheet music, and that's how people learned to play music. And what happened really interestingly, so the name now of the National Association of Music Merchants originally was the National Association of Piano Dealers of America. And what quickly happened is, as evolution always happens in our industry and throughout time, is this was right around the time of what was originally thought of the greatest threat to music making ever. There were many of them, by the way, in the past 125 years. This one of the time was the talking machine. We know it as the record player today, but at the time it was the talking machine. It was the original name. This is the old hand crank, the talking machine. And music retailers, piano dealers were threatened by this and say, who's going to play piano if they can just put a record on and listen to music? But it turns out a lot more people listen to music, and a lot more people wanted music in their home. And like technology has done for 125 years, made music more accessible to others. And so by 1919, the organization had changed its name to National Association of Music Merchants, because these piano dealers had now embraced the opportunity to be merchants of musical products, which led to the radio, led to televisions eventually, and then every other music product iteration that's come and gone throughout history.
I got to tell you, I know Mr. Paul Roberts, our producer of our show, is always speaking so highly of this convention, which of course it's in Anaheim, right? It's 50 years that you have been putting this on.
And can I tell you why? Because if you've never been to it, it's a zoo. It's massive. It takes over all the convention center and all the hotels. And what makes it a zoo is you have, of course, all the manufacturers of trumpets and clarinets and pianos and violins and all this stuff there. But you also have all the recording equipment and all the mics and stuff that we use, which brings out all the top rock and rollers and jazz players. They're in different booths trying to hawk their guitar or their piano or something here. I met Stevie Wonder the last time I was there. Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder?
He was just walking through the booth.
Like no big deal.
No big deal. That's who walks through this.
The mayor of Stevie Wonder's the mayor of NAMM. He's there every year.
It's crazy.
So will he be there again this year?
Probably.
I'm told yes.
Wow. That is awesome. Stevie Wonder.
He loves NAMM. He loves the products. He has great relationships.
Yes.
And he
with
was just
vendors.
walking around looking at products. And of course, everybody's cuddled around him and stuff. He had all these little helpers and bodyguards and stuff. But he was just there to check out mics and recording gear and all sorts of stuff. And
We met John, of course, a few years back when they came out to do a presentation check to, of course, the Anaheim school district, their elementary school.
which they do every year.
Which they do every year. But we got to meet him in person. And let me tell you, it was a really cool, surreal moment just to see the smiles, the faces of the children that were so happy that, of course, the music program is continued to be supported. And share a little bit about that, if you don't mind, John.
Yeah, of course, John. And I think Paul's enthusiasm here is really incredible because, the NAMM show is the largest global gathering of the music products industry. We are the world's largest global gathering of the music products industry. The NAMM show will bring in people from 125 countries, over 70,000 people, and it's over the entire spectrum of all areas of the music products industry. Whether you're a guitar, a string for the guitar, a pedal, a cable, a speaker at a small club, a speaker that's flown from a stadium on a major tour, the mixing console, the lights, everything in between.
A
Anything
podcast
musical
channel
products,
like us, all the equipment we have, the recording gear
That's right.
and the mics and everything.
all
Yeah.
the gear.
We
all
don't.
of this comes together. And I think what's exciting, and we'll get into the trade show because it's coming up next week. Or I keep saying next week. I'm so excited for it to start. It's actually 13 days away. What's important to remember is this global gathering industry, and the reason NAMM's been around for 125 years. We exist to strengthen the music products industry. And yes, you got to get the entire global industry together, but you also have to serve that industry. So NAMM is a nonprofit, and NAMM also exists to serve the NAMM Foundation as our charitable nonprofit. We're actually two nonprofits, a C6 and a C3 for those keeping tabs at the IRS. But everything we do goes into the NAMM Foundation to give back, to create more music makers, to help companies generate more musical products. It's a huge circle of benefits that we have. And so what we do this year round through our grant making, the NAMM Foundation grants over $1 million a year to 57 organizations. 150 college students get to come to the NAMM show to find their next career through scholarships. We have a Women of NAMM Summit, all these great things. But what happens locally is, as we're in Anaheim every year for the past 12 years, we want to give back to the local community. So we've been working with the Anaheim Elementary School District, amazing partners there, and we do a day of service. We bring out NAMM members who are people who are attending the NAMM show, but we actually bring them out on Tuesday and let them work with the students, hands-on in the classroom through different workshops on music making. We actually have them mentor high school students now. So we bring some high school students over to the elementary school, and we have leaders from all over. In fact, Victor Wooten did this last year, the amazing bass player. We have artists and leaders from all over the world that come in, and we select about 30 of them to come do mentoring sessions with high school students and participate in music making with elementary students.
And why that's so important is because I was just going to say, we are so under stress these days with school.
Yes.
They do not have the budget. They do, so they're cutting things. They try cut athletics. They certainly cut music and arts. And yet, these are the things that give meaning to life. I'm sorry, that help you stay in school and maybe find that passion and purpose here.
I think
we always support. We always want to make. We've been donating $10,000 a year to the school district as part of our ongoing grant. But it's about service, and we do service year round. But the NAMM show is the time in person where we get to demonstrate that service right here in the community.
For those of you just tuning in to us right now, again, you can go to OC Talk Radio, click on the link there. You'll be able to see this interview that we're having right now with John Malinczak. He is the president and CEO of NAMM, which, of course, is going to be here in town in Anaheim from, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's January 20th through the 24th?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's massive.
It's massive. I know Paul's been to it. I'm looking forward to going this year.
I'm surprised your friend Andy Garcia doesn't take you.
Andy Vargas.
Or Vargas, I'm sorry.
Andy Vargas, lead
sorry.
singer of Carlos Santana. In fact, I'm thinking of maybe inviting him to go with us.
Sure
He's the lead singer of Carlos
so.
Santana. He's probably one of your number one customers. We were at his
guy. I can probably get him a badge.
Yes, you know somebody?
You
Okay.
know the guy that
you can help get him a badge. That would be great. He loves this stuff.
Let's talk about that one thing just for a moment, because
Yes.
we're getting everybody excited. It is not something the public can just walk into.
You have to go and pre-register.
There's a process, and you got to get approved.
It's a trade show, and I think it's a really good
Yes.
question about who comes to NAMM, because we actually, believe it or not, it's the massive show. We do a lot to actually control attendance. At its core, the NAMM show is the music products industry's only and largest global trade show.
Right.
So the 1,850 plus exhibitors, the 4,500 brands of products are there.
Wow.
To really set up their entire year.
How many exhibitors? I'm sorry, John. Repeat that again.
About a little over 1,850 exhibitors.
1,850 exhibitors?
4,500 brands of products.
Wow. That is a lot of exhibitors.
Yamaha guitars, Shure mics, all the big names in the business here. Yeah.
And you go to NAMM. Actually, anyone can go on the NAMM app, the NAMM Show app, and see everyone. You can just download the NAMM Show app or go on NAMM.org and just see it all and check it out. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a really massive undertaking. But it truly is, first and foremost, these companies are there to meet with their retailers, their distributors, their suppliers, their international partners, but also they're there to get their brand out in the world. They're there to meet with artists who want to talk about endorsing their brand. They're there to meet with influencers who are talking about their brands. They give them a platform to share their brands out.
That's great. Wow.
Educators, teaching products.
So who can get in, and how do you get in? Because not everybody can.
All of these audiences are welcome if you have a role in the music products industry. And that can be as a teacher, that can be a front of house engineer, that can be a lighting designer. There's a lot of roles that are available. So it's definitely not a public walk-in, bang on guitars type show. But for anyone that has a role in the music products industry, if you're an aspiring producer, if you're trying to get into using these products, you can go to NAMM.org. You can register as a qualified attendee. We'll ask you some questions about what your role is in the industry, and you can go on and register, because we do want to make sure that outside of the core retail distributor industry, all of these other folks that are working with products, that are repairing products, that are using them professionally, we do want to make sure you have a place.
And real quick, let's just point out, NAMM is, of course, NAMM.org, right? NAMM.org, where they can find all this information. They can register for the big convention that's coming up. And I love what you said earlier, that you like to monitor, you like to manage how many people come into this, because it's sometimes, when you look at it, this is a big networking event. If I'm correct, you're running into Stevie Wonder and all these other people, but at the same time, you're collaborating and networking with the top line music industry.
And the
people.
point I want to make is that world has grown. When I first tried to get into NAMM, sorry, they blew me off. I didn't get in because
you weren't at that level yet, Paul.
They didn't have podcasting in mind. They didn't have home recording in mind. It was more big studios, big producers, big things. And through the years, as that has been democratized, is that the right word? Where everybody can now make music at home. Everybody's creating soundtracks. Everybody's creating YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and influencers and podcasters and all this stuff. That world has blossomed, and they've blossomed with it. There's categories now for all those people to come in.
Paul, it's like you're in the meetings. But that's important. So we are, again, we're a 125-year-old association. An association, first and foremost, serves its members. And so our members, especially at the trade show, the exhibitors who want to get their brands out to the world, we talk to them all the time. I spend the rest of the year traveling all over the world, meeting with companies, seeing their factories, talking to them, having lunch, having dinner, really understanding what they need and who they're trying to reach. And that has evolved. And the exhibitors at the NAMM show, they really want to be able to talk to someone who's saying, hey, I do front of house in my church every Sunday with your mixer. Did you know this workflow is a little clunky for me sometimes? Can you help me, or is there a better way to do this? There are product developers that want to have those conversations. There are people that want to make sure that this massive world of social influencers and content creators, that world has blossomed. And when companies say, we want to reach influencers who know about our brands, and we want to build relationships to help our brands grow through the Influencer Network, we say, great, we're going to open up the Influencer Network.
So what does Andy Vargas do? He has a school or an you tell me what it is.
Yeah, Andy Vargas, of course, is a lead singer of Carlos Santana. He's been with them 26 years, and he has a foundation here in Irvine that he just started. And that's really to help continue, just like John here is saying, continue the love of music, and let's continue to support the kids and give them an opportunity. He's invited my son to be part of their music camp for the kids. My son loves to play the guitar. And
what's that other group you had that plays, what's the traditional Hispanic?
The mariachi. We did a big mariachi festival.
Yeah.
But I think
all these areas you wouldn't think of. So, yes, these people are playing music.
But music has really... I've seen music come a lot into our industry right now in the Hispanic community. We had a big mariachi festival last year, and I was shocked to see my alma mater, Century High School, and all these other high schools. They had their own mariachi bands, and it was really cool to see all these kids in mariachi suits.
Music has expanded beyond the narrow confines that I knew as a kid here.
Yeah, what they're finding is, of course, music has also become a great, I guess you could say, tool to help combat mental health, right?
Oh, absolutely.
For a lot of these kids, it's just a great...
Keeps them in school, gives them purpose. If you're not making it in math and English or whatever here,
exactly,
it blossoms people.
I want to personally thank you, John Molensack, of course, who's on the show with us here, for anybody just tuning in now, who is the president and CEO of NAMM, which is, of course, the big convention coming up January 20th through the 24th. I want to personally thank you, John, because the fact that you continue to bring this back to Anaheim, here in Orange County, which Anaheim is a big Hispanic community, and you continue to support with your team, of course, the elementary schools and the music education. I want to personally thank you on behalf of our Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Can I say the obvious?
That means a lot.
Can I say the obvious thing? I said this to him off air.
Yes.
As this thing grew and became massive, the largest music industry show in the world, you would think it would have moved to Vegas or L.A.
No, don't do that. Let's keep it here.
You've stayed here for 50 years in Anaheim. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
People drive down from L.A. to come here. Why up from San Diego? Why Anaheim? Why is that still the base for this?
Absolutely. Thank you, John, for thank you for that. Thanks. We recognize as NAMM that what we do, first and foremost, is we have to create more music makers. If we're serving an industry of people making their living off making products, that we need to create more music makers. We need to create that drive. We need to create that passion. And giving back is really important to fundamentally what NAMM does. And I'll tell you, I'm a product of music education. I can go into a lot of reasons why
you have a master's in trumpet. You told us off air. I didn't know you could get a master's in trumpet.
He's got 2 master's degrees.
My pursuit of being the first one in my family to have any college degree, much less 2 masters and all of that, came from middle and high school band directors who motivated me. It came from, I was that kid who was fine in school, but was never the top of the class. But music gave me something where I could excel at. Music gave me discipline. As a musician, I learned so much about being disciplined and focused and practicing and having routines and regiments.
And playing with others as a group and
working with people and realizing, your ideas don't matter. It's getting the collective group to get together. One of my leadership talks is a lot about how musical skills are actually leadership skills.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Back to Anaheim.
Anaheim. Why still Anaheim? We're grateful you are, but...
Couple reasons. The reason that the world's largest show is in Southern California now is it goes back 50 years ago. Plus that, we were always a summer show in Chicago. NAMM moved around a little bit over the years, but if you talk about 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago, it was everyone comes in, Chicago in the summer, McCormick Place, Hilton, the whole thing.
Because isn't that where all the big piano companies are in the Midwest, the traditional?
Oh, yeah, all the instrument companies, Elkhart and the brass instruments, all those companies were, that was the heart of it. But as production in Asia, China, different markets developed, we realized that Western market was important. So the Western show came about. I would tickle my throat.
That's okay. Just an accident. We better do something so when they fly over from China or come over from Asia where they're making this stuff here.
I think the other thing that's important to point out is it's great that you're planting these seeds, right, in the Orange County area, because these kids are going to grow up and be inspired, right?
They are. To
be future musicians. And so, again, the fact that you continue to bring it back to Anaheim, again, that's January 20th through the 24th at the Anaheim Convention Center.
We may have lost him here.
Did we lose?
We may have lost the connection
John?
Here when he was coughing.
Well, just so you guys know, if you're tuning in
there he is. Okay,
on OC Talk Radio, we're talking to, of course, John Molensack, who is the president and CEO of NAMM, which is, wow.
Can I call you out on one thing, John?
Sure.
I can tell you've never been because you keep saying it like Vietnam.
I'm sorry, NAMM?
NAMM.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody
NAMM.
who's in the cool says NAMM.
NAMM. I apologize for that. Did we get John back? Is he back on?
I think he's back, yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm having a coughing fit over here. But
No worries. Get some water. This happened. Actually, that happened to me once when I was in here.
It did. Well, I had to carry on the show without him here. It happens sometimes, sir.
Again, Paul Roberts says that when he was there, he ran into Stevie Wonder. If you don't know who Stevie Wonder is, he is a legend.
I've seen people, if you're a music geek like me, I've seen people like Jeff Skunk Baxter in a booth, the guitar player for the Doobie Brothers.
Okay.
I've seen him playing and things. Yes, there are people you instantly recognize, but there are people, if you look in the back of albums, I don't know if nobody gets an album anymore, but whatever, and you see who plays on all these sessions. They're there, the great jazz players, the great R&B players, the great rock and roll players, because they're there trying to promote some product that they endorse,
yes.
A guitar, a trumpet. You had Arturo Sandoval on a year ago. I'll bet he comes to the show. I'll bet he's there because he probably has
Arturo Sandoval.
He probably has some trumpet that he promotes or something here.
But Paul, I want to.
Skunk is a good friend of NAMM. Skunk's a big advocate.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anaheim is key to us because the community of Anaheim lets the community of NAMM be that community.
Yes.
You talk about the artists and the power of those artists. Those artists walk around the NAMM show freely.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Wow.
Because they're with their industry. They're not being rushed by 1,000 people begging for autographs or trying to do selfies.
Yes.
Because the professionals there know that's a professional environment, which is why we protect attendance a little bit. But again, if you're a professional in the industry, we want you at the NAMM show. But the artists are there because they are actually there not to have people geek out over them. Of course they do. Those artists are there geeking out over the product designer who built that guitar that they played.
They are. Exactly.
And Skunk's there. I talked to Skunk Baxter, who called me the other day. He's like, hey, he's talking about all the people that he gets to go see that make the products that make their living. And that's what Stevie does. Stevie's there not for people to go, oh my gosh, Stevie's there to go to the products and say, wow, what's new? I can't believe you did that. I've seen him in the booth.
And I'll give you a shout out. I'll give you a shout out to one of your guys here. I use the product here, this iCloud, this lifter, this thing that makes a dynamic mic like I use here louder, so I don't have to crank it up as loud. It's just a simple little device. A lot of recording studios use it. And there's one company out of Arizona that makes this thing. It's like a really crazy group of people that makes this thing. That's where Stevie was. He was there because he loves that product. He loves the mics that they make there. I think they make like a ribbon.
It's almost like they geek out of the new stuff, right?
Yeah. So they're geeking out. And the fun is not just saying, hi, Stevie, but watching Stevie interact with these people and say, here's what I love about this mic. Stevie likes this mic. Maybe I better listen to this mic here. Maybe I better check this product out here or something.
Yeah.
It's that connection. And Anaheim gives us that. Yeah. So like we've talked, full disclosure, obviously like people looking, oh, what about Vegas? What about LA? All these other areas. I mean, that when we think about where we're going to be, being in Southern California matters because this show is where companies from Asia, Australia, all of that's the perfect place for everyone to converge. January is the right time. It's beautiful weather. When you look about where in Southern California, Anaheim is a beautiful confined space.
Yes.
It gives us, for our industry, we actually call it NAMMaheim, jokingly.
It feels like it for a week there. All the hotels
are
filled.
Area, all these people can get together in the Anaheim Convention Center. If you look at the physical footprint, first of all, you have all this whole city block is ours. And so our community can get together, have these interactions that's not spread out over a big city. If you're in LA and Vegas, you're spread out all over. There's all these competing events, and where do you go? And we're all together in one place. That really matters. But I can say, too, just in the past few years, getting to know the mayor of Anaheim, Ashley Atkin, and all the people that
Ashley's been on our program here,
Yeah.
The city of Anaheim, the Anaheim Convention, Anaheim Visitors Bureau, Visit Anaheim, they're so supportive.
They were here a while ago. Visit Anaheim was on one of our programs.
Mike and they're the family we've built and the relationships we have with the people at Anaheim, because it takes a city, the police, the fire, the paramedics, everything. The whole
It's a big
city.
collaboration.
Because you guys actually do concerts outside and stuff here in the street and everything.
Absolutely.
Wait, I'll be able to see some concerts when I get these VIP.
They have free
like
concerts
all access
going on outside the event as well as stuff in the event.
75 bands.
When do you do the She Rocks thing too, or something? You do that
It'll be Friday night.
Friday night. So they have all these women artists, women performers do the
That's
She
cool.
Rocks event here.
Wow.
Cool stuff.
Again, that's January 20th through the 24th. You can go to namm.org to get more information and, of course, get tickets. And the sooner you get them, the better, because there is, I'm pretty sure, a maximum that you can sell for this event.
The sooner the better for sure, because it's in 2 weeks. But
The key point is not everybody can get in, John. We're going to get you in next time.
Not everybody can get in, huh?
Not everybody can get in.
Really?
You got to be part of the industry, and you got to be respectful when you get there. It's not just a fanboy show, but it is really a cool thing. If you're into the gear and you want to geek out over what's the latest,
so I can't get a selfie with Stevie Wonder if I run into him. I got to play it cool, right?
You got to play it cool.
I got to play it cool.
You got to hang out with me.
the security team will probably not let you.
The security team won't let me. He
But
said.
again, we want the value of the show has expanded to anyone who works in the product industry, anyone who works in the music industry who has value.
We got to invite Andy Vargas. Yes.
Product.
I'm sure he's gone. Yeah.
We want you there.
Yes.
And so we have a qualified attendee path where people go on NAMM, answer questions, and you can come to the show.
And that can include educators, that can include people who do sound at churches, that
That's
can
great.
include people who do self-produced stuff on the internet.
Well, listen, I'm a podcast host. I'm an MC.
You're in.
I'm always in front of mics and
You're in.
speakers. We did a big mariachi festival last year.
There you go.
So-
Now we're finding some connection here.
Right?
Okay.
There's some connection of me there.
Stick with us.
The influencer network is huge. I say brands show up at the NAMM show because they want brand experience. Like they want people to experience their brands. We live in a world, and this is the evolution of trade shows. And Anaheim, of course, is a major trade show destination. But the evolution of trade shows, of all these trade show executive magazines, and NAMM just won a bunch of awards on this as well. But the evolution of trade shows it's about brand experience. You don't need to ride your horse into one place to see a product once a year. You can see it on YouTube, you can product launch online, but the value of a trade show, or just the NAMM show, is about experiencing these brands. And we are an industry of products that actually have an incredible experience. If you're the National Association of Insurance Salespeople, it might be different, but we are of music merchant products. So these products need to be experienced, they need to be showcased, and we need artists and educators and producers and people using those products to be part of that experience.
And I'll give you one quick example. I know we're running over here. Is when I finally got in and they started recognizing podcasters and people like me and influencers, and I got in, I went to some of the big booths. Shure microphones. Is there anything bigger?
Yes.
Or Black Magic stuff and everything. All these giant brands. And I'd walk over and I'd say, I'm a podcaster and I'm doing this thing here locally. And this was 15 years ago when nobody knew what a podcast was. And they were so excited to hear this. We don't understand that world. What do you need? What can we make? How does it connect to a computer? How do you use this stuff? What do you do with it? What do you need that you don't have right now here? They were all over me. And as I came back through the years, I'm not saying they took my specific ideas, but I could see they took the ideas of people like me and started bringing products back to serve this massive new industry here. So they respond. They listen.
Unfortunately, I think we run out of time. But
I know.
I want to make sure we plug in, of course, the NAMM show is, again, January 20th through the 24th. It's the ultimate gathering for music, sound, and event technology. Discover new gear, connect with industry pros, and be inspired by everything that makes music happen. Again, with us today, I want to thank him for everything he's doing in the community, especially the music industry, of course, in our communities. Mr. John Molensack, which is the president and CEO of NAMM, who's an expert in this music industry, an educator in the technology and leadership, of course. Thank you so much for being on the show. Anytime you wish to come back, we'd love to have you back on the show again, John. And I'll be, how do I get my passes to?
We're going to work. You got to hang with me.
Paul, you're going to help me out on this?
Yeah, got to hang with me. I know Stevie, so we're going to get it.
We're going to give you an email today. But thank you so much. And again, Anaheim, this community, this is why we're here. This is why our industry has been around for a long time. We're an industry of passion. Music making is core to humanity. You talked earlier about how it empowers students and how we talked mental health, all that, but music just makes the world a better place. It's been around since the dawn of time. It'll be around forever. And our industry is about empowering that. And we are so honored to empower that every year the world's largest music product show right here in Anaheim in Orange County.
Right here in Anaheim
We
for 50
appreciate
years,
the community.
Wow.
We appreciate the support, and we'll see you at the NAMM show.
See you at the NAMM show.
Yes, and just to close out real quick, April 11th is our annual Estrella Awards. Stay tuned for that, our big gala. And of course, continue to tune in every week, every Wednesday, midday here at OC Talk Radio for the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce show, which is our community podcast show, which is, of course, where our community is your community. Mr. Paul Roberts, take it away, sir.
There you have it. As the music plays, make sure you find out all the people who play the music at the upcoming NAMM show. It's huge. It's massive. If you can get in, if you can find a way to fit, it's something you won't forget. Right here, just like our weekly show, always highlighting what's new in our community, because our community is your community. Right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.